Hello and welcome everyone. When we think of propagating plants and bonsai trees, the first thing that jumps to mind is taking branch cuttings and trying to root them, often with very poor and disastrous results. What if I told you a little gardening secret, which is successful and produces results 100% of the time? And even a very novice and a beginner in bonsai can produce results 100% of the time and guaranteed success every time. And that method is that of conventional air layering. You can multiply your favorite fruit trees or fig trees. Even the newbie gardener can use these methods and get success 100% of the time. The trees will be identical genetically to the parent plant, and the characteristics of the new plant will be identical to the parent plant. This is a fig tree which I planted about 12 years ago, and that's the twin trunk. And the fig tree has got so big that it is virtually impossible for us to reach the fruits. These figs, these will be ready in another 4 weeks' time to pick. And as we go above the branch, we've got these little figs. This is fruit which will stay on the tree throughout winter, even when the leaves have come down, and it'll be ready to eat and pick in about a year's time. I have selected this branch to air layer as it will make very interesting bonsai. I had a fig tree bonsai before, and now I don't, so I want to make another one, and it'll be from this cutting. We have to start by cutting and removing the bark, and there should be at least 1 inch, which is around 5.5 centimeters between the two cuts. And as you can see, the bark is then being removed. It comes off quite easily, and I'll just zoom in closer so you can see close up. And the bark is completely removed. After having removed the bark, we then have to remove a very thin layer of cambium, which is between the bark and the hardwood. And if that cambium is not thoroughly removed, there's a risk that the tree will heal itself and the bark will grow back. And there was another branch, you can see where the knob is, and we've decided to air layer around that because the branch that we want to retain is a very interesting branch, and we will be making a bonsai tree after this is done. We have removed the cambium completely. I can feel around the area where the bark has been removed, and it's fairly good. There is no slime or wet bits which would tell me that the cambium is not fully removed. We are now putting the plastic bag to form the air layer, and at the lower end we are going to secure it by 2 cable ties, as 1 cable tie is not enough. The branch is too thick for 1 cable tie, so we are having to use 2 cable ties. Here's the moss, which is damp, and we're going to apply that by filling up the plastic bag, and more moss is going in, and it'll be very, very tightly packed in. Sellotape is now being applied to the upper end to secure the cut so that the upper part of the air layer is secure. We are now applying the 2nd cable tie to the upper end of the plastic bag, and it's being thoroughly secured. And there we have it. That's the completed air layer, and we'll just tidy up the long ends of the cable ties. Next thing that we've got to do is apply this cling film, starting from the 1st cable tie where the air layer starts, and going right round it to secure it very, very thoroughly. I'll go round one more time, and it'll be like that, and I think that's enough of the wrap, And I'll just finish it off here, removing the excess of this bag. I'm now going to apply this silver foil right round the area, and firstly secure the lower end before I go to the other side. There we have it, nicely done. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to tie up with strings these two ends. The string is now being applied to the upper end of the air layer. Foil then remains in place, and same thing will be done to the lower end. So there we go, the string is being applied to the lower end, and that will make sure that the foil remains in place and there's zero movement. We are now looking at two air layers which were applied last year. There we are, that's the second one. As you can see, both have rooted, and we are now going to separate them, and it's on the same fig tree that we just did the first air layer. And as you can see, it has developed a lot of roots, and we will be separating it shortly by cutting it from here where my finger is. We'll use a saw. It's quite a thick branch and it's quite a long branch. I'm going to saw this branch using this saw. This is quite a dangerous thing, so I'm wearing gloves for protection. I've heard of people having nasty accidents. And I'm going to cut it here and then tidy it up afterwards. This is the first air layer branch. As you can see, it's very tall and lots of fruit on the branches. Let me see if you can get this on camera. And there's loads more fruit up here, and this is quite far away, so hence the decision to shorten the branch. This is the second of the air layer which was done last year. As you can see, it is a very long branch, and one of the reasons for reducing it, the fruit is very high. As you can see, we'll try and maybe close up on this. There's loads of fruit, and there's just some of the examples between the nodes, between the sort of leaf and the branch. There's loads of fruit, and when it ripens, it's as big as the palm of my hand. And some of the smaller fruit will ripen next year. And the air layer is down here. As you can see, the roots here, although there are loads of roots, but it's not enough to support all of the tree. So we will have to shorten it to about a couple of feet, which is about from here to here. We'll sort of make a cut here, remove these branches which are below the air layer, and we've got a pot ready to pot it up. The saw is getting stuck, so I have to change sides. So here goes. Whoops. It's broken, that's okay. I can still get hold of it. It's going into the neighbor's garden. You can see how big the branch is, and the roots in the air layer are not enough to support big branches and the amount of leaves and fruit. So that is the reason why we will shorten it. Firstly, I'm going to make a cut below the air layer, perhaps around here. So this has come off, and I'll remove the bit that's hanging by the bark with a pair of secateurs. And then we are going to reduce it to about here. There we are, that's off. So this is what we're left with. And we'll remove the plastic wrapping just before we are ready to repot. So clean up with the secateurs. I've cut off some of the roots. That's not much, it's okay. The cut is going to be at about 45-degree angle, like this. So if it rains, the water will just fall off, and I will cover it with petroleum jelly. You can use cut paste, but I find petroleum jelly works just as well. So that's the second one. So we are now going to go off and prepare a couple of pots to pot these in, and once the pots are ready, that's when we will take the plastic off and reveal the roots to you, because it's been on there for a year, and last year when it was put on, it was very late, didn't root, and it was left on over winter. This is the second one, and as you can see, again, plenty of roots there. These are the two air-layered branches, and I will now proceed to pot them up. That's where this air layer is going to sit. I'm going to just bury it a little bit more, and then I'm going to fill it up with this compost, and we'll add more compost and thoroughly water it. And it's again planted at a slight angle, so if there is any rain or water, it'll just slide off. And this works just as well as the cut paste. Okay, we've added a lot more compost to this one and also the first one, and made sure that the planting is quite secure and it doesn't move around. I'm applying petroleum jelly to the second air layer where the cut was, so that again it protects it from drying out and also any attacks by insects. I have air layered a very substantial English elm in the past, and I will put the link this video at the top, and you should be able to click on it at the top right hand side, and it'll be worth you watching that video as well, as it shows a very substantial, very thick trunked English elm being air layered. Thank you for watching. This is Iqbal Khan in West London, and if you haven't yet subscribed and you're still with me, then please subscribe so that you receive updates of my future videos. I'm working on the trees. There's a lot to follow, and it'll be great to have you with me on resumption of my bonsai journey. Until the next time.